Hey everyone, RemanX here, and we're going to showcase a brand new character, Kitty Pryde. Now, if you guys know from my constant disappointment with Red Guardian, I didn't get more than 3 red stars on him, and so unfortunately, he just never I never got lucky. But I did manage to get another mutant on my roster that was able to do some amazing things. So we're going to take a look and see at her skills as a protector, see if she can help keep this team alive. So we're going to watch what happens with this team. So we brought some characters that have some self healing built in. Obviously, it's 508k, so it's a little more reasonable than some of the other teams that I showcase, and we're going to get right into it. So what I want you to do is we're going to take a look specifically at the team as they perform in early U7, and then we're going to break it out. So I'm here with Twitch chat, which you guys can't see right now, but they're going to help test some additional teams. We're probably going to showcase the Dad Bros and see what they look like in a raid, and if she is really the character that we want her to be. So here's the early mind control. We got lucky, it took out X23. So this is the big power that we have, is this the basic, the 2 charged. There was the assist right there, which is kind of a big deal. So we're going to go ahead and heal that right back up. We didn't get a crit there, so there's definitely a problem. We're going to stop Morta from the heal block. And then we're going to go ahead. So there was that dodge. The evade just looks very, very powerful. So no characters have taunt here, but we're going to play offense down because of how important we know it's in the raid. And that is just a beautiful ability. It gives us the ability to kind of just extend the fight to make sure that these guys aren't taking a lot of damage. So she's going to pop characters out of stealth here and help us finish them off. So we're going to go ahead and just pop her ability. We won the lotto right there. We got it did not consume the charges, something we will have to see. So there's the heal and that dodge. So look at that on turn. Now we're going to pop her ult. Just disrupted with the assist. Oh, it's actually a ton of damage. So she's actually a fun character already. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take on his arch enemy. Get him down to half there. Boy, that seemed like it should have hit for a lot more. Keep her charged here. We're probably going to try to save this team for potentially like the end nodes. Maybe are they designed for the end mode? Going to go ahead and ability block the Juggernaut. So again, her whole team isn't out yet. And if you notice, they're not taking a lot of damage at all. That's kind of a big deal, just thinking about that, right? They're not taking a lot of damage when it comes down to the Astonishing X-Men. The other X-Men obviously are missing out on a little bit of that because they're definitely missing the full element here. So we're just going to wipe this node up a little bit here. Hopefully get that heal really quickly. And so from an early U7.5, well, he didn't res. There's Wolverine's total usefulness, so we don't even need to bring him. He just didn't offer much to the team. He may win Jubilees here, right? At least until we get that new character that was released in an infographic this week. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. So not terrible. Obviously, there was a lot of sustain. Wolverine happened to be a tank, and unlike the character in the movies, he's not getting up from that. So realistically, a big difference here. And so we're going to talk about that. So we're going to replace him with another character. So Emma, another self-healing character, that extra slow. We'll see what impact that has. Now, notice there was pretty much 0 damage taken by Kitty and Beast. And so this is the interesting component of it. And I think we're gonna see how this works out. They're getting that raid bonus. And so it's actually just, I think they are kind of in the vein of they are to raids what symbiotes are. And so that's probably important to think about because there's really a need for that in some of these later raids with the global lanes. And so there's the problem. She's going to die because, again, so you're going to see the only real fault with this team is that a lot of it's built into the Astonishing X-Men. And so that's, I think, a frustration for more than a few people here, is that there's just an element to this that basically too much of the character kits are locked behind a full squad being there. And so when it comes down to like a perspective is when that happens, so the team's not all here, but Kitty is just not gonna die here. So if you surround her with the right characters, like it might be symbiotes for the whole raid. I mean, look at Beast. He is just avoiding all the damage. There's that dodge. So they're getting that dodge on enemy turn. And that makes it so impressive. So without even the whole team here, you can definitely see how it's starting to come together. So we're going to talk about her kit now, what I think the investment level should be for everyone, you know, answer some like questions like what do I think is going to happen with this team? Do I think that they're living up to the potential? Or more importantly, you know, are they going to be the answer to the .3 content here? Do we need them? Are they going to be the team that we need for these harder raids that are coming up? And so I think there's a lot of questions whether or not, you know, as a free to play or light spender, do you go hard on this team? Is Jubilee being hidden from us for a reason? And do we have all those answers? So we're going to go into that. We're going to hit the auto here. So let's talk about this character. So first off, she is a phenomenal protector. So the two lowest health characters, and because it just so happens that Beast and her are the two lowest health characters, there's a ton of sustain built in because every single time the enemy team gets a turn, they're getting these abilities, this evade here. And it's going to become more powerful when the legendary's here. I mean, honestly, she's doing decent damage considering that she doesn't have her legendary yet. And so that's realistically, I think, something to expect from the kits, that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, Iceman comes and these guys take even less damage overall. All these slows that are being applied, Emma potentially, without even the synergy, becomes a fifth character because of the fact that she's constantly applying those slows on a relatively low cooldown. Something to be aware. Maybe that's something that was unintentional, or maybe it was intentional when you're building this kit and building this team. So Axmen shaping up to be pretty darn good in raids, and Kitty Pryde is unfortunately going to be probably a heavy T4 investment. We're going to talk about that really quickly. So before we push the raid any further, let's talk about Kitty. Obviously, you saw that she's pretty much untouchable. So she lives up to her name, and there's my daily reset here. She lives up to her name, and so that's part of where it is. She's definitely just phasing through things, and so she is untouchable. And so there's the stealth for 2 turns. In raids on turn, apply defense up to the 2 most injured allies, and on enemy turn, apply evade. So this is making it so between the offense down and the evade, it is making it so they take such little damage. Couple that with the new mechanic being introduced by Iceman, we'll have to see how it's being applied. But that percentage damage decrease, they're probably going to be one of the most tanky teams in the game. Now, obviously, I've got a 6 red star on her, but it didn't matter because most of what was happening was evades. So her staying alive is kind of a key element to this character. So obviously that passive, because always apply evade was a big deal. The word always kind of gets me. We're probably going to do this for the speed bar, just because it's going to help her clear taunts, get around taunts. But more importantly, the more time she goes, the more time she's applying defense up to the team. And that's probably going to be essential to their survivability, in my estimation. We'll definitely reevaluate that after I pick it up if it was worth the investment level. And right now, I currently have her as striker. We're doing some testing because this T4 actually does allow her to clear two buffs. So something to be aware of. MSF.gg, thank you, Taijay, for keeping that updated. Does showcase it at T4 it does on the secondary ISO hit, so, or assist. So I think we're definitely theorizing that these characters are definitely going to break us through these .3 global raids and make it that maybe, you know, some of the harder cosmic lanes are easier for a lot of the population to do. And again, I get it. A lot of you guys, and please let me know in the comments, haven't even hit level 80 yet. So I've got it at level 80. I did do it for testing, and I will tell you, overall, raids B+ remains to be seen what she will be in other modes. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to wait until the whole team is here. I don't want to give you a mishmash solution to some of it, unless I find something unique that it works with. So we're going to go ahead and take these guys in there in the raid with the Dad Bros, and we're going to see how that works out, because I'm kind of curious. The Dad Bros have a ton of sustain, and I got to wonder if they're going to, if there's some unknown synergy here. We're going to go ahead and take them into this, and then we're going to hit auto and see what happens. Let's see if they can auto the raid. And I'm not expecting much, but I've heard some things about these Dad Bros. Somebody said they were good. That evade is a big deal. Look at that untouchable procs happening all the time. And then we're just annihilating them. They've got a ton of barrier to boot here. Oh my. Well. I mean, thank goodness for that barrier and high stars on these guys, but this is U7.5. So on auto, the offense down isn't happening as much. That's the advantage, I think, of I mean, for a lot of people, is that they really like being able to auto with the symbiotes. And so they have a lot more built-in sustainability with the whole team. But this is no joke. This barrier is pretty impressive here. So we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, you already got the ability off. And do they come out of this with full health? That's the question. Will they come out of this with full health? Well, that blind's not going to help them. Well, those heals, and there we go. So obviously, probably better than we thought it could be. But yeah, interesting combo there. I think if you played that with the offense down, managing the target selection, I think you might have a different raid team. So if there's more than one way to skin a cat, yeah, pun intended, I'm sorry. Just gotta let me have those every once in a while. As your unofficial internet dad, remember, I do things so you don't have to, and that includes leveling up Kitty. I think the Axmen are going to be a good raid team. I don't know if we need them. I don't know if you should invest in them. Let me know in the comments.